Linda, my wife, used to get phone calls. Linda would tell me later, people would call and they say, do you have the new Bobby Rydell cassette? My wife said, no. You Linda Hoffman? Yes. And aren't you the president of the Bobby Rydell fan club? No. We met one night at an Italian restaurant with all the Italian guys, and this one girl was there, and we talked, and I'd like to, we dated, I think, for 3 years. And, I would take her places. We would go to, a place called Riviera Maya in Mexico, right near Cancun, Puerto Rico. And we got along great, so we finally got married. Wait a minute, I got to remember, we're married 12 years now. And Frankie Avalon and I were working a hotel called the Orleans in Vegas. Got married to Linda. Frankie and his wife Kay were there. My drummer, David, was my best man. And the other Linda Hoffman was there as well. Got married in the afternoon at a friend's place of mine called The Bootlegger. So we went there for lunch, everybody, so on and so forth. And that night I was on stage with Frank.
Well, as you do.
I got married. I was. Yeah.
When you were doing your touring years, and I think you went to Australia something like 22 times, you're America's teen idol, but were you surprised at how much the rest of the world loved you?
Oh, my God, Louise, absolutely. Matter of fact, there were 3 girls, and they lived in Melbourne. No matter where I worked, they came, and they'd always sit in the front row. They did my backgrounds. I would say it was swinging school, and I go, yeah, go swinging school. And they start, la, 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 la. They did all of my background on every record that I do on the show. Wild One, Volare. And I introduced them. I say, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce 3 crazies who are big fans. And they, after I'm done, they throw confetti and balloons go up in the air. So, well, yeah, Australia is very near and dear to me. And weather, great food, great people, the whole 9 yards. Working in the UK was absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
That's where you met the Beatles, isn't it?
This was 1963. I met the Beatles. When I did the Palladium, my God, that had to be, and I became very dear friends with Jack Parnell, a drummer by the name of Kenny Clare, a marvelous player. They used, we used to go see him at Ronnie Scott's, because he was a great jazz player and also a great big band drummer. When I recorded Forget Him in London, Kenny Clare was on the date playing brushes. Forget Him. Kenny Clare is playing Forget Him for me when he did things like Tony Bennett, like Mimi. He's playing brushes. Forget Him. He was traveling with Johnny Dankworth and Cleo Lane. And we met in Boston at the Boston Logan Airport, and they were flying to Philadelphia to do a gig. My drummer, of course, who was a big fan of Kenny's, we took him to dinner at an Italian restaurant. Then we went back to my house, and we started playing all of his stuff. There was another guy, another great drummer by the name of Ronnie Stevenson. We played things when he was with Matt Monroe. My God, he said, you guys know more about me than I know about myself, because we adored him. But getting back to what you're talking about, I was there with Anne Margaret. We did a command performance for the royal family when Bye Bye Birdie came out. And I toured with Helen Shapiro, who I adore. And she's a marvelous singer. One night, we're on a bus, and there's a car in front of us. And she says, they're the Beatles. Now, this is 1963, Louise. So when she said they're the Beatles, I started looking around the bus for cockroaches or something. I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. No, the God's honest truth. Bus stopped, the car stopped, the 4 guys come on. Of course, they knew me, and I figured, 4 nice guys. They're just, probably gigging around doing club dates or something in, society type of thing. I go back home, and now it's 1964, and I'm watching Ed Sullivan. Who's he introduced? The Beatles. God, I said, I met those guys.
Can you look back and think, well, those guys knew me. You were as much a hero to them as you became to others.
Oh, absolutely. And I really enjoyed a lot of the things that they did. Yesterday, all my trouble seems so far away, not, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Not every song has got yeah, yeah, yeah and whoa, whoa, whoa in it, has it?
Oh, no, of course not. Yeah, right. Yeah. But a lot of my songs were yeah, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa.
But that's what you wanted to steer yourself away from.
Not steer myself away from, just I can do other things.
Yes.
Other than whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You've spoken fondly about your wife and the devastation of her breast cancer diagnosis, which she initially beat, but then it returned, as you say. But you weren't coping too well yourself.
Not when she passed, I mean, when she passed, yeah. But like you said earlier, she was in remission for 9 years. We all figured, my God, honey, thank God, God bless you.
Yes.
And then it came back, and it, the lymph nodes and the kidney and the lungs, and Jesus, it was terrible. After she passed away, I was a lonely guy. There was nobody to talk to, nobody to laugh with, nobody to cry with, nobody to have sex with. And I hit the bottle, and I became an alcoholic. I kind of drowned my tears in vodka for a lot of years, which later on, 2012 to be exact, I had to have a new liver and a new kidney. I was never a heavy drinker. After a show, you have a dinner, a cocktail, and that was, I was never really a heavy drinker until she passed. And then my dear friend Vodka became very, very, very close to me.
So it started as a recreational pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
Social,
social.
Your appetite for alcohol grew as your body craved more.
Absolutely. When I drank, and I mean drinking, I would get up in the morning, whatever time I get up, and I would have to have like a double vodka on the rocks. And that would start, somewhere around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'd have 15, 20 of them before I went to bed. When I went to bed, I just, boom, collapsed, But that was my daily schedule. I drank so much, and I became an alcoholic, to the point where I needed the transplant. And I remember seeing a doctor at a place called Lankenau Hospital in Philadelphia, and he said to me, this was 2010. He said, "Bobby, if you don't stop drinking, you're going to be dead in 2 years." I figured, well,